Hello, beautiful people. Hope everybody's had a great week. I want to say thank you guys very much for listening, watching. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the feedback. So let's get down to business. Uh, does anybody else feel like we're living in a movie? Like every single day in the news and the media, the craziest thing you've ever heard or ever seen is happening, and the next day it's the craziest thing, and the day after that it's the next craziest thing. So I'm sure most of you, like me, are ready for this election cycle to be over with, and hopefully we can get back to leading regular lives. And it's chaos out there. It's wild. It's bizarre. Like I said, it feels like we're watching a movie or we're in a movie. But hopefully it's over soon. So I got some notes for this week. One thing I've been thinking about a lot is uh, one time somebody told me, when it came to how to talk to people, how to treat people, how to just go about your business. Um, they told me to. They said, be careful who you step on the way up, because you never know whose ass you're going to have to kiss on the way down. Um, and in a roundabout way, of course, that's just try to stay humble, because you just never know what situation you're going to find yourself in. There's another really popular or um, really famous quote. I think it was Muhammad Ali, but who knows if that's actually real or not. But and you can't believe anything you see on the internet anymore. But he said when he goes out to dinner, he pays very close attention to how the person he's with treats the waiter, because he knows that that's how they would treat him if they were in the waiter's shoes. So similar situation, just be humble and how to treat people and how to take care of people, and how to be towards people around you. I'm far from being perfect in this area. Most people that know me really well. I've got a sharp tongue. I say things. I'm short tempered. I can just say mean things, and it spews onto other people, and it's not good. So it's just something that I've worked on, something I try to be better at, is how I treat people, how I talk to people. And whenever you make progress in a certain area, you start to see these certain characteristics on other people. And there's just been somebody sort of floating around, that was way out at the very edge of my universe, that slowly started getting a little bit closer just by proximity. And I've started to see how this person interacts with other people around me. And this person, I believe they don't know or don't think that other people are aware of these interactions, that she thinks that these incidences are all just one-off things, and they're just like sort of kept secret between this person and this person, when really all of those people are sharing information, and it just looks really bad. And I'm not talking poorly about this person. I'm speaking from a perspective of understanding, because I have been where this person is, where and I think a lot of the communication that she's giving these people, it's just really short, abrasive communication. And I try to, like I said, as far as like me trying to learn from my mistakes and get better, I see myself in a lot of her interactions with these people. And there's different layers to it, but one of the layers is, it's about feeling overwhelmed. I feel like she's overwhelmed, and that makes her really short in her responses. And when you're really short with people, a lot of times it comes off as ungrateful. It feels like it's very demanding. It's almost as if this person you're talking to, if they're of no use to you at this very moment, you treat them poorly. And during these message exchanges that they're kind of floating around out here and everybody's seeing them, kind of like, hey, did you see this? And hey, does this person, does it seem like this person? Does this person talk to you like this? Um, so when I see these messages and I hear about this, like I think of myself, and I there are still times where I get overwhelmed and I get short with people, and I try not to hurt people's feelings or be abrasive or make. I don't want people to feel like if they're of no use to me, then just get out of my way. Like I know for a fact, 100%, with 100% certainty, that I've been that way a lot of times in the past, especially when it comes to like business matters and business. Like I get overwhelmed, my plate's overflowing, and I start treating people badly around me, because in my mind, I'm just, like I said, I'm just frantic all the time. My stress level's way through the roof, so I'm really short with people, and that's it's a bad pattern to be in. It's a difficult situation to put the people around you in, because a lot of times the people around you, they want to see you succeed. The people that are close to you really do want to see you do well. because a lot of times their success is tied to your success. So whenever you're stressed out and you're not doing well and you're, treating people around you poorly, that's bad for the team. Um, and it also doesn't give the people in your immediate circle the respect they deserve and the time they deserve. And I think that's a lot of what it is. I feel like if in those times in the past, and there's lots of them, there's lots of people that could come forward or comment on this video that of how I treated them very poorly in the past because I was very short tempered. I responded to virtually nothing with anger or frustration, or treated people like if they were of no use at the time, they could just get out of my way. So when I see this person talking to other people this way, I have some sympathy for them because I understand what they're probably going through. It doesn't make it any less frustrating because I see it from both sides now. I see it from the receiving side, the recipient getting the message, and I also see it from the sender side. So it's hard to watch because I do feel like if the person that is overwhelmed, one, I don't know what it would take to get them to not be overwhelmed, because this person's probably a high achiever. They take on a lot more responsibility than they can probably handle because they feel like they can do it. They take on all these jobs and all these responsibilities, and at the end of the day, at the end of the week, the end of the month, those responsibilities are kind of half done because you're trying to do too many things. If you try to do 100 things, you can't do all 100 things really, really, really well. You just can't do it. Nobody can. So this person is just overwhelmed with responsibilities. So any sort of inconvenience or any sort of deviation in like the mental plan of how the day is going to proceed, if anything doesn't go the way you think it's supposed to go, the reaction is just negative because you're overwhelmed. Like you literally in your mind don't have time to take 2 seconds to start your message with, thank you for the info. I got my hands full at the moment. I'll call you back, or something like that. It's immediately just abrasive, and like I said, it sort of comes off as ungrateful. And I say that, and I'm not trying to be mean to this person, but it comes off as ungrateful. And I say that from my own experience and my own behavior. When I look back at when I was really, really terrible at this, and again, I'm not perfect now, but I've improved. When I look back at my behavior then, I know for a fact that my behavior was very ungrateful for the people, very ungrateful to the people around me. So when you get overwhelmed and you get short with people and you start to almost treat people like a form of property or a form of currency, and you don't treat them like people anymore, it's time to take a step back and sort of reevaluate, recalibrate, reset your priorities, because you're just overwhelmed. So I don't know if anybody out there is stressed or maxed out or overwhelmed, and it's causing problems in your relationships around you, friends, family, coworkers, business, anything like that. But if you feel like you're in a situation where every little thing is an inconvenience, or every single person's input that doesn't 100% agree with you sort of sets you off or sends you down a spiral, or creates some friction between you and that person, just take a step back, take a deep breath, and try to put yourself in a mindset of gratitude. Try to be grateful for this person and whatever it is they're trying to tell you, good news, bad news, or just news. And then assess the situation and try to respond instead of react. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, probably the best thing you can do is try to get some stuff off your plate. Try to clear your schedule up a little bit. Try to decrease your responsibilities, because if you treat a core group of people really well, it's going to take you a lot further than treating a huge group of people mediocre or poorly. That's just something I deal with and I've dealt with. And when I see it from this person, everybody else is kind of shocked because I think most people have probably never been that person. You know what I mean? Like, I have been this person that's been short and ungrateful and abrasive. And like I said, treated people as if they were just property or currency, or treated them like things instead of people. So since I've been in their shoes, been in this person's shoes, I kind of have a perspective of it from that side too. So these other people are kind of shocked and caught off guard, and I'm kind of like, yeah, take a deep breath and swallow real big and be like, yeah, I know what that person's going through. And like I said, everybody around this person wants them to be successful. They just want them to be successful in the right way, and not use people as stepping stones, and just try to get it done the right way. Find a happy medium where you're getting your point across and you're still treating people with respect and being grateful for their contribution, because their contribution is going to be different than yours, and there's just no way you can do everything in the world on your own. You have to have teamwork. You got to have some support. You got to have lifelines all around you. So I hope this person realizes it. I don't want to see them burn too many bridges and isolate themselves and put themselves in a corner where the people that are trying to help reach a point where they're no longer willing to help because they don't feel like they're going to be treated properly. But I say all that to sort of, in a way, say that a lot of failures that I've had, and this may be something you deal with too, a lot of the failures that I've had have come from me not being able to get out of my own way. And that has come in many forms, and it's happened in different points in my life, different types of relationships, business, professional, personal. I've let a lot of good, women walk out of my life because I could not get out of my own way. And that comes in a couple different ways, a couple different forms for me. One form is to myself, mentally to myself, I talk myself out of things that I shouldn't talk myself out of. I try to, I have, this inner dialogue that I convince myself of a thing, or convince myself to do a thing or not do a thing. And that in the long run is bad, or a bad decision, or I should not have talked myself out of it. And it could be something simple. It could be something like, talking myself out of going to the gym. Hey, I don't have time. Talking myself out of eating right. Hey, I don't have time. All of those things over the course of a lifetime add up to a decision that is obvious, like my physical condition I'm not happy with. And I look back, and it's all of those decisions that I talk myself out of going to the gym. I talk myself out of, getting up an hour early and working out. I talk myself out of eating right. Those are all decisions that I've made. Talking myself out of, here comes a train. I'm sure y'all heard that one. But talking myself out of making the right decision. So that's, again, getting in my own way. Like, I'm actually preventing myself. I'm talking myself out of good behaviors, good habits, good things by, basically convincing myself, oh, this is easier, this is faster, this is, I don't have enough time. That's my go-to, is I don't have enough time. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that one. And then the other one is so that's like the mental game. That's like the mental part of talking myself out of things. But then there's other stuff that's like physical that I don't know that I would say I talk myself out of, but I don't take control of things that are within my control. And that's what I mean by get out of my own way. So, for example, like if my, personal relationships with, ex-girlfriends and stuff, there's situations where I did not do what I should have done, or I did things that I should not have done. And those things are within my control, and they change the outcome. And those, again, are things that, me not being able to get out of my own way, not being able to say the right thing at the right time, saying the wrong thing ever saying the wrong thing ever. Like, I'm really good at saying the wrong thing. I'm really good at not saying anything at all. So there's lots of ways to physically get in your own way. It's not just a mental thing. And one example I can use is, this is a really dumb example, but I'm sure you can probably relate to this too. I recently had repaired a shower head in my shower. So I'm the only one that uses my shower. It's been a pain in my you-know-what for probably going on 2 years. Let's just say 2 years to make it a nice, easy round number. So I've had a problem with this shower head for 2 years. And I say a problem, it's not been like, leaking in the wall or anything like that. But the shower head was not putting out very much water pressure, just from age or, getting calcium deposits. I don't know, but it wasn't working very well. And it's been like that for like 2 years. And every day I get in the shower, sometimes once, sometimes twice, but I'm in the shower every day. I use this shower every day. I'm the only one that uses this shower. It's a fly in here. But I'm the only one that uses this shower. It's a problem in my life. I dealt with it for 2 years before I finally, and the solution to the problem was so simple. I spent 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes online shopping for a shower head. It took me all of 5 minutes to literally get it shipped to my house. Cost me like $22, maybe $22, $23. And once it got here, it took me less than 10 minutes to unbox it and install it.
So this problem that I've been dealing with for 2 years was something that cost less than $25 to fix and took less than 15 minutes to solve. And since I did that, and this is a dumb thing, but ever since I did that, I've started looking at other little things in my life. This fly is going to drive me crazy. Um, I've started looking at other things in my life, and I'm like, how many other things have I just been ignoring or blowing off that would improve the quality of my life? And again, this shower head thing, it seems simple, but the first day I got in this shower after I fixed it, it was like it was like the water was coming straight from heaven. It was the best shower I've had in like 2 years because the shower head was working like it was supposed to. And that's a stupid thing. It's a little thing, but it has me thinking about all these other little things. And now I'm like on high alert. So everything's like my radar is just going off everywhere of all these little things that I have been dealing with, putting up with, or things that I've been doing that I shouldn't be doing, that are all within my control, that are all fixable, that are all solvable, and how easy and quickly I could do 3, 5, 8, 10, 12 things like within the next week, within 10 days, within a month, that would drastically improve like the overall quality of my life. Like I know a shower head is not that big a deal, but it's really nice to just jump in your shower and have like awesome water pressure, and you know what I mean? Like it's simple, but in that example, I've started seeing all these other things that, and I'm sure there's probably plenty of things that you deal with every single day that you don't think about because in your mind, it's like I'll take care of it later, I'll fix it later. Um, I'm in the automotive industry, so mechanics are really, really good about this or really bad about this, however you want to look at it. A lot of mechanics drive really beat up, run down cars because in their mind, they're not worried about it. They're like, I can fix it later. I'll just fix it later. It's not that big a deal. I can fix it later. It'll take me 15 minutes. It'll cost me $100 part. Like I can fix it. It's no big deal. So over time, their one issue turns into 50 issues on their car, and now they're driving this run down, beat up clunker, and because it's got 50 different hey, I'll fix it laters. And that's what I'm starting to look around and see my life as a clunker. My life is a clunker. I've got 50 things around me that are within my control, fixable, solvable, things that I can do to drastically improve the quality of my life by just taking a little bit of action, spending a little bit of time, a little bit of energy, a little bit of effort on a few things, and it will drastically change my outlook. And those things start to build momentum, and it puts you in a better mood. It feels like you accomplished something. It feels like you got something done. It feels like it gives you like we've talked a little bit about, how extremely suicidal I've had some episodes in the past where just really bad. But during those situations, like getting out of those funks is solving little problems like that, getting little things fixed in your life. It gives you a sense of control. It gives you a sense of hope that things can be better. You can make things better. You have some control. All this noise, all this stuff going on out here that you have no control over, all these things happening out here that you see on the news, all these things you see on social media that you literally pick up your phone and you teleport to whatever you're looking at, you teleport out of your living room, out of your bedroom, and you go to this other place wherever you're watching this video, and your mind is there. So you're no longer physically in your space. You're mentally somewhere else. And you block out all your stuff because you're mentally somewhere else. So when you come back to your space mentally, you just all these issues that you've been ignoring are there. So it just feels like you've got no control because you've been living most of this fly is going to drive you crazy. But it feels like you're living your life out of control because you aren't fixing these little things that are solvable and fixable. And I promise you, if you sat down on a piece of paper and if you sat down with a piece of paper and you wrote down 10 things in your immediate vicinity that you want to solve, fix, and it doesn't have to be big stuff. It could be simple stuff. It could be, going out and buying those socks. Maybe you got holes in your underwear. I don't know. Like maybe it could be fixing the door handle on your car. Maybe it could be getting that oil change done. Maybe it could be taking your car to the car wash. Maybe it could be, cleaning your bathroom. Maybe it could be cleaning up your kitchen. Maybe it could be fixing the garbage disposal. I don't know. Whatever your list is, but I promise you, putting this little checklist together of little things, doesn't have to be expensive things, doesn't have to be big things. It can be little jobs. It could be cleaning out the garage. It could be, you don't need to clean out the whole garage. You can just put on your list to start cleaning the garage. Put, hey, I'm going to go through 5 boxes, or hey, I'm going to go through the spare closet in the spare bedroom. Like whatever the things are, like these things aren't going to take a lot of time, but they're really not about fixing those things. Yes, they're going to improve the quality of your life. Yes, it's going to be awesome to take a nice hot shower with, proper water pressure. It's going to feel good to have your parking space back in the garage. But these things are really about a momentum and taking back control of your life that feels like it's beyond your control. And I promise you that there are so many things within your control that really matter. Like a lot of the stuff we find on our phones, a lot of stuff, that we see on the news and the media, those things don't really impact our life on a day-to-day basis. But I promise you, like, your garage being a mess impacts your life. Your shower head not working like it's supposed to is impacting your life. Your kitchen being dirty, your bathroom being dirty, all these things, mowing your lawn, whatever it is, like make your list and find a way to get something checked off every single day. Even if your list is, let's say your garage is a complete disaster, spend 30 minutes in there a day. Just, hey, I'm going to spend 30 minutes a day in there after work, before work. Hey, I'm going to spend Saturday out there. Whatever it is, take back control. All these things that you've let go. And like I said, something that's embarrassing to talk about, but for years, like I let my shower head go for years. Like that's a dumb thing. And I'm not a complete moron. Like that's not a hard thing to do for me. Like I said, it was less than $25 and it took me less than 15 minutes. Like this is a very fixable thing. And if you just let all these things build up around you, it does start to feel like, not that your life sucks, but it starts to add up to you don't like your environment. You don't like your situation. You want to change the wrong things. You want to fix the wrong things. You start ignoring the things that are fixable and you start to fixate on the things that you have no control over and you can't fix. So I promise you, do this task with me. I'll make up a list. I don't know if I'll share it with you because it's probably going to be a bunch of dumb, boring stuff that I've just let build up over who knows, weeks, months, years that are just running in the background of chores, like a to-do list of things that I need to get done. But I promise you, make your list. This will make a difference in your life. This will help you build some momentum on things that you can change. You want to take control of your environment. You want to take control. You want to find solutions for these little bitty problems that are wearing you down. I promise you. You don't think they're a big deal, but they start to add up. They're in your subconscious mind. They are affecting your performance every day, and you got to take control back. Checking the time here. What else can we do? One other thing I was going to say about that is that these things that I'm talking about I can relate to these very in depth. So when I'm talking about this person being overwhelmed with their schedule and being short with other people, I'm saying that because I can relate to it, and taking control back of your life in small ways, in small steps. This is something I can relate to. These are just things that I struggle with. So I know I'm not the only one. I know there's other people out there that have these issues and have these problems. Because a lot of times we let all these little things build up until something breaks, until something snaps. And then we make a drastic change that's completely unnecessary, where if we really just focus on the little things in our control, in our direct environment, those things will ultimately make the biggest difference in the long run. So you don't have to give up. You don't have to throw in the towel. You don't have to quit. You just have to start focusing on the things that you can control and things that matter. And this is something I struggle with. So I know there's other people out there that struggle with it also. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's all I got for this week. I don't have anything else. Hopefully you guys are doing the reading assignment. We're doing the Gospel of John. So hopefully y'all are doing that with me. Hope you're enjoying it. We just finished the 7th read through, and we start the next read through tonight. So hope you guys are reading the Gospel of John, 7 chapters a day. There's 21 chapters, so you should be rereading the entire Gospel of John every 3 days. Hopefully you're taking notes. Hopefully you're writing down questions. I am. So take notes, write questions, highlight stuff that gets you. I did read something. I should have brought my Bible over here. I left it somewhere else. I have a study Bible, and one of the study notes was really awesome. I actually highlighted it and I sent it to some friends because it was really impactful. It was only 3 sentences, but it was really good. So hopefully you're taking notes. Hopefully you're asking questions. You're highlighting stuff that resonates with you. But yeah, that's all I got for this week. I hope you guys have a good one. Hope you guys have a great week. Hope you all take care of each other, be good to each other. I know you guys are ready for this election thing to be over. I know you guys are ready for interest rates to keep coming down, prices to not continue to rise, but hopefully come down a little bit. I think most of the prices we see today are they're not going to go backward. I think that's one misconception about a lot of the stuff I see is people keep asking, when is inflation going to cool down or calm down? And I think people confuse inflation with prices, and it's not necessarily the same thing. Inflation probably has slowed down or returned to a lower percentage, but that does not mean prices are going to start going in reverse and prices are going to start going down. That's not how that works. It just means they started going up at their normal rate. So inflation was high for a while, and now inflation's back to its normal rate. So don't think for a second that things are going to start getting cheaper. That's not how inflation works. It just means they're going to go back to increasing at their normal rate. But it seems like people are starting to adapt to the prices. A lot of people's income is starting to catch up. So we'll see how this election thing goes. Obviously, it's important to vote, so get out there and do that. Remember, we're not voting for people. We're voting for policy. Remember, these people are going to be gone someday. That's one piece of advice, and there's a couple more minutes real quick. There's another piece of advice I got a few years ago when I originally bought the tire shop. When I originally bought Crowley Tire, the previous owner and I had several conversations before we did everything. And one of the pieces of advice, because I was asking him questions before, and he's like, "Hey, I want you to know that you can ask me whatever questions you want to ask me, and don't be shy. And whatever you got, now's your chance. Because after we sign this paperwork, it's like I'm done and gone. And these two business brokers, your broker and my broker, they're going to get their check at closing, and they're gone too. You're going to be the one here. You're going to be the one, left holding the bag. So whatever questions you have, now's your chance. Because after we sign on the dotted line, everybody's going to be gone but you. So just keep in mind when you're voting, pay close attention to policy, disregard the avatars, disregard the actors, vote on policy. You people are smart. You know what's going on. You can see what direction we're going. So that's my recommendation. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I am recommending that you vote for a direction, because direction determines destination. So pay close attention to policy, pay close attention to direction. There's not a candidate out there you should agree with 100%. Nobody should agree with any candidate 100%. You ought to be very careful when you're listening to like celebrity endorsements on either side. Remember that's just one person, that's just one voice, and they have one vote. Don't let their vote be everybody's vote. Like just because a celebrity says something doesn't mean it's a good idea to vote for somebody. Just because you watch somebody play a sport or listen to somebody's music doesn't mean they know politics better than anybody else. So let them have their vote, let them have their voice, but you have a voice too. You have a vote also. Do your homework, do your research, talk to people you know and trust. Do your very best to listen to both sides, because like I said, we're not voting for people here. We're voting for policy. We're voting for direction, because there's going to come a day and a time where these avatars and these actors are going to be gone, and you and me are going to be the ones left holding the bag. You and me are going to be the ones left with the results after we sign on the dotted line. They're going to be gone, and we're going to be the one living through the consequences. So vote on policy. Don't vote for people. It's a bad idea. You should never vote for people. You should vote for policy. So anyway, I'm out of here. Hope you guys have a great week. Take care of each other, and we'll see y'all next time. Love you. Bye.